morning, Ollie's farmers. Welcome back to the channel and welcome today to another lovely sunny day here on the farm. And don't forget as well that you can subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button down below, and you can also tap the little bell to be notified when there is a new episode of Ollie's Farm. And also as well, you can follow the Ollie's Farm Instagram page, which is ollies.farm in the Instagram search bar, so go and give ollies.farm a follow. Now recently a lot of you guys have been messaging me about how to drive this JCB right here, which is the JCB 526-56 on the farm. And for some of you guys out there who don't know too much about telehandlers, I'll just show you a little bit about it today, and also I will show you how to drive it as well. That is something which I seem to be having a lot of requests from recently, as to how to actually drive this machine. So just on the front here, this JCB's got 460 70 R24 Michelin multi-bid tyres, and they're a nice size tyre for this telehandler, and they've been very good since we've had it. And just moving around the machine as well, this is the front of the machine, which is called the headstock on a teleporter, and this is actually a Q-fit headstock, which is patented to JCB. This is JCB's way of attaching to implements. Now you have lots of different headstocks on lots of different machines. On a Manitou, for example, it's more like a little hook, which hook headstock style, which you have on each side. On a Merlot, you've got more of just a straight bar going the whole way across. There's lots of different variations, and on the JCB with the quick fit, you've just got a tube of metal this side, a tube of metal this side, and then at the bottom you've just got the hydraulic locking pins at the bottom there. Sometimes you can have a manual locking pin, believe it or not. Sometimes you can have a manual locking pin, but I'll show you how to use the hydraulic locking one today. At the top here, I've actually fitted like a small spacer on here, and the reason I put that on is because it actually stops the implements or the attachments on the front from juddering about. Now with a teleporter, down the middle of the machine is your lifting boom. So this is the boom of a teleporter, and it can also as well extend out. As you can see, we've got the boom insert here, which is actually the inside of the boom, and that actually gets pushed out from the inside so that you can extend the boom out should you need to reach higher places, such as a lorry, or if you're stacking bales, for example. So just moving along then, and as you can see, we've got the cab, which I'll just show you in a minute. So this is the 526-56 model, and it's the Agri Plus, which means it's the more premium model over this standard 526. Just on the side here is the engine bay, and it's actually got 115 horsepower JCB engine, which is 4 cylinders and is actually plenty of power, to be fair, for this teleporter. Here's where you check the oil on this loader, and then you've also got the transmission oil just there as well, and then you can just top up the engine oil should it need to be topped up. And then your filters are just nicely positioned down there, and our fuel filter is nice and clean in the water sediment bowl. That's something I try and keep quite clean on this loader. And just moving around again, we've got our mirrors, which are actually nice and tight at the moment, and that's something which is quite important with a teleporter, is that you need good visibility to the rear and to the side as well. So moving on now to the cab, and I'll just show you inside this cab, and also I'll show you how to operate the loader. Okay, so I'm now just getting into the cab. It's quite a hot day today, as I said earlier, so I'm actually just going to open the side door there, and it just locks against the side of the cab. So once we're in the machine, we can then turn the ignition on to start it up, and before we do actually start it up, we just let it run its course on the screen here, and we'll just start it up. So we're now started up, and the handbrake is down here on this machine. On different telehandlers, you've got different types of handbrakes. You can have electric handbrakes, manual handbrakes. This is actually a manual one on this loader. So before I actually release the handbrake, we'll just talk about the boom quickly. So to operate the steering of the machine, obviously you've got the steering wheel here, and you've also as well got the different steering modes down here. So we're currently in all-wheel steer mode, and if I just turn the steering wheel, you'll see that the wheels all turn at the same time, and the reason for that is to improve the maneuverability of the telehandler. So if we just move it back to here, we can then change the mode of the steering, and we can now lock the back wheel, and if you notice now, only the front wheel is turning. And the reason for that is if you're going down the road, sometimes you only just want the front wheel turning to make the machine more stable when you're going down the road. And then on the third option, we've got crab steer, if you actually want to move it in a diagonal position. So if we just literally just go like that, so we're actually now moving diagonally. We're now moving diagonally there. Just thought I'd show that to you guys. And that is really, really handy, the diagonal option there, crab steer. And it's really handy for when you're in a tight situation, perhaps against the wall, you can just go into crowd steer and you can literally move yourself away from the wall. So that's something I actually use on the farm when I'm in tight sheds. So back to all-wheel steer, I'll leave it there, put the handbrake back on there. So here's our instrument cluster. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty basic in this loader because we are mainly a livestock farm, and that's why we have the 526. So we've just got the lights down here for operating, our side lights, our boom lights, and the beacon on the roof. And then we've just got the hazard lights. This is your shuttle, which you can use for forwards and backwards. And then we've got our transmission disengagement, the boom suspension, the fan for the air conditioning on and off. This button doesn't actually do anything. Then we've got the windscreen wipers, the four-wheel drive on and off, the bucket shake function, the auxiliaries, joystick disengagement, the hydraulic moving, so you can change the hydraulics from the front to the rear on this switch. And then here is our reversing fan, which is what you need for just cleaning out the radiator. And I'll just do that now, and we'll just clean out all of the dust from the radiator. So moving along, we've just got a 12-volt socket and a emergency stop here, and we've obviously got our temperature gauge for the aircon. So to go forwards and backwards, you can either use the side shuttle on the left-hand side here, or you can use the shuttle underneath the joystick. I myself quite like the shuttle on the joystick, but perhaps you might prefer just using the shuttle on the side. But for today, I'll just use the shuttle on the side. And if we just put our foot on the brake, take off the handbrake, put the shuttle into reverse, we can then go into reverse like so. And checking our surroundings around us, we are in reverse. And if we just want to go forwards, we can just push the shuttle forwards, and we're going forwards. It's actually got 3 gears on this machine as well. And if I just move it back to neutral, foot on the brakes, handbrake back on. And then this here is our joystick, which is the main control of the boom. So this is what we need to use to operate the boom. And we've got our gear selectors on the top here. And then this is our boom extension out. If I just push it, you'll see the boom just going out there. And we can go to a full 5.6 meter reach. And then if I just pull the joystick back, you'll see the boom is going up in the air. The hydraulic ram just working there, and if I just slow it up, there we go. We're now at the maximum reaching height, so if I just put it back down, and there we go. So I'll just show you guys now, I'm just using the shuttle on the joystick, how to just quickly I'll put on an attachment with this loader. So I'll just put the muck grab on because I'm going to do a bit of mucking out. So what you need to do is you need to just make sure that the headstock is lined up with the attachment, and the way you can do that, like I said, having the spacer on the front of the quick fit headstock really does help, and it stops it shaking around as well. So you can just see we're driving into the attachment now, and if I just put the joystick to the left, it will just curl the headstock like so, and then you can just gradually pick the attachment up. And if I just pick it up a little bit like so, just to show you guys the hydraulic quick hitch system. So if I now just operate the joystick, there you go, we're now locked in. And if I flick this back to the other way, the front quick hitch is now disengaged, and that means if I operate this, it will only operate the back tow hitch, but that's actually locked in as well. So it's actually relatively safe now. There's actually a little pressure release down there for releasing the pressure. So we've got on this attachment hydraulic couplings, and that's because this attachment here, the muck grab, has got some hydraulic rams. So the way that we put them on is quite simple. I've released the pressure from the cab there, and what I'm now going to do is just put the hydraulic couplings on. And the way you do that is literally just join them up, push them on this model, and then twist the little coupling like so, just to lock them in. And then it's the same again on the left hand side one. And then what we've also got to do is we've got to isolate the hydraulic quick hitch, and we do that just by turning the little handle here to the right. Now if I get back in the loader, you can see that we've got the implement on, and also as well I've got the hydraulic quick hitch engaged, but it's not actually going to work with the quick hitch at the moment because we've isolated it with that small lever. So what it will instead do now is it will actually operate the implement. So the way we can do that is if we just push our right hand roller switch here, it will actually operate the muck grab to be fully opened, and then we can just put it in the opposite way like so to close the muck grab. And that there is how to put on an implement with the teleporter. And also another thing, like I said, which is really good with loaders, is that you have got amazing maneuverability. You can more or less spin on the spot, and that's why they're used in farming so much these days, especially here in the UK, but with smaller, tighter sheds on the farm. So that is a reason as to why they are really popular here in the UK. And also as well, like I said, about the lifting height as well, that is another key feature of the teleporter. So for my American viewers, for my overseas viewers, that's the teleporter, that's the JCB, that's roughly how to operate it. There are some other little features of it which I'll perhaps show you in future videos, but on the whole, this is the loader, and this is, like I say, this is just how we operate it and what it is. I'm now going to go and muck out some sheds on this lovely boiling day here on the farm. Thank you very much for watching, and as always guys, do comment, rate and subscribe for plenty more videos to come.